Call this meeting to order. This is a Commissioner meeting of January 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the Sussex County Administrative Center, Commissioner Meeting Room on 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey. A roll call, please.
Director Carney?
Here.
Commissioner DeGroot?
Here.
Commissioner Hayden?
Here.
Commissioner Henderson?
Here.
Deputy Director Space?
Here.
All right, number 3 is a moment of silence and a salute to the flag. Today's moment of silence will be for President Jimmy Carter. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 4, public statement. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail and email, and such notice being submitted on January 7th, 2025, from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: New Jersey Herald, Star Ledger, and Straus News. It is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for public announcement and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. At this time, please mute all electronic devices. Commissioners, please put your phones in your pockets. They are operable. Number 5 is the approval of agenda. We have one amendment to tonight's agenda. We will be having an executive session tonight to discuss the College Board of Trustees and discussions regarding the purchase of the Provident Bank. Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Space, Commissioner DeGroot seconds. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Carries. 6 is proclamations, certificates, and presentations. We have one presentation by Sussex County Community College, and I believe, Dr. Connolly, you're going to present?
Yep, I will be presenting with my team.
Perfect. Come on up. You could sit down and just, I guess, just state your name. You don't have to say anything else besides that.
Now, you folks have this presentation in front of you, is that correct?
Yes, sir. There's no way to get this up, right? Not too late for that?
You can try.
I mean, are you planning on going through one at a time here, or kind of summarizing what's here?
How about I ask that question of you folks? I am, we're here at your pleasure to try to be helpful and useful. And so we are happy to sort of go through that. So if there's the formality of it, I tried to give you a presentation that's mostly comprehensible on its own merits, but it may need, elaboration. So I know that I can deliver this, and Mr. Tappan told me less than 30 minutes, and we can easily achieve that. But I also want to make sure that I'm doing what you folks are sort of looking for from us as well, to sort of get as much information reasonably that we know and that we have into your hands.
And I think, speaking for the board, we hear grumbles of possibly having some dormitories put in.
Yes.
Not sure where. Usually, like for me, and I'll speak for myself on this typical one, my son asked me for money. I said, what do you need it for? He said, don't worry about it. He doesn't get any money. So I'll say that the same thing to you. This is how I see it. Yeah. I'm curious as to where this money's coming from, where's it going to, how are we building this, and so on and so forth. And I got a ton more questions, but that's the gist of it for me. But I know everybody here on this board is leaning towards how is this going to happen, why isn't it happening, who's it going to benefit. Okay. And this was, Commissioner Henderson's new here, so he actually might have some more questions, but at least I could speak for Commissioner Schick that was here. He was kind of thinking the same thing.
Okay.
So if you can kind of go from
much of that is contained in here. In our sort of preparation for this, we were able to sort of attend to many or most of those. Some of those were less prepared to talk about. Let me sort of introduce the folks that I've brought with me. Dr. Corey Homer is the Vice President of Institutional Effectiveness and Student Success. Chris Wolverton is from HQW, and he has been working on designs and so forth for residence hall that we hope to have, but we don't know if we will do. Terry Pappin is a newcomer here at Sussex County Community College. She is the new Chief Financial Officer. She's the Vice President of Finance and Administrative Services, and so we welcome her. She's been here now 2 weeks and 3 days. And so you asked her whether it's been a trip or not. So, happy to be here, happy to talk about this. The college is a joy to be a part of, and so I think that you folks know that it's a joy for the county to have as well. So what I will do is take us loosely through these pages. What I would say, first off, is what is the need for the residence halls? Well, first of all, it is very, very important to say that our budget, 62% of our budget comes from tuition and fees. And that fact drives so many of the decisions that we make. It's not something that we can run from or hide from. When enrollment goes down, it really hits our bottom line. It hits what we can do with the budget. And so that's just a reality that we face. We primarily serve this county and the high school graduates that come to us. They are the overwhelming force that drives our enrollment. We do an extremely good job with our capture rate. Capture rate means that how many students do we get from the graduating classes of all the high schools in Sussex County, and thanks to Will Austin, North Warren. Okay, so Will said, look, you take North Warren, that's fine. And so that reality and what we do with that is an important thing. We do extremely well, we do better than most, but the problem is that our demographic of this population and this age group is going down, which means that if we're tightly tied to the enrollment and the graduation rates of the high schools, our enrollment is also going down. That's just a reality. So we need to be very attentive to that. It is something that is very much on our minds. And so what do we do about that? Well, yes, recruiting more students is important. Trying to do a good job recruiting students. That's why we develop new programs, new opportunities. Commissioner Carney, looks like we have 14 golf prospects. Okay. 14 golf prospects for a new golf team. These are the kinds of new initiatives that are very important for us to do to keep that. Draw students in. We know about that piece. What you may know a little less about us is how important retention is. When you get a student in, whether you keep them or not, whether they leave after one semester, leaving after 2 semesters, what you want to achieve is have them graduate with an associate degree, whereby if they choose, they can go and get a 4-year degree, and their general education is met if they do so. It's the way it works in New Jersey. Community college associate degree equates to satisfying all the general education requirements. So they can come in and they're an automatic junior, right? They don't have to worry about the general educations. That makes a big difference. That doesn't happen if they leave us after 1 year. And that's more common than we'd like. Not because they don't love us, but because they want a college experience. They want the whole thing. I want to go to college, right? And so coming to the community college, they love us. They love the experience, but it's not what they're really sort of looking for and craving for. So residence halls, this offers in multiple dimensions, which I won't go into now because I want to extend on 30 minutes, the elements, the essential elements of what a college experience is. We know also from surveys that Dr. Homer has performed and conducted that the students want this. They want this college experience. It's very, very important to us. So all of these things drive retention, which assists and makes a difference for our bottom line. College life, and indeed the value that residence halls bring to student success, which is the next case. The effective on-campus housing. University of Connecticut conducted a study. They looked at this, their Office of Management and Budget, and GPAs are better, retention is better, graduation rate is better. It's just that simple. It's about engagement. If you're off campus, you're not engaged as much. You don't get the out-of-class experience the way that you do when you're on campus. All that stuff that happens outside of the classroom, where it's very, very important that professors teach the students. But the real action is when students teach each other. That's where it's at. And when we cultivate that, it's very, very powerful as an experience, and students perform better. Is this weird? Is this unusual? Colleges, community colleges have residence halls? It is not. It is strange in the state of New Jersey. We would be the first. And I think that actually, psychologically, that is very important. Sussex County, standing above others, it's important to do. It's important for this college to be able to convey that, and it's also a psychological impact that draws students to us, because there can be students from other counties who are going to want to be here because we have the residence halls. That's an important thing. That's important because, again, it helps our budget. Our viability depends upon the strength of our budget and the business model that we have. On this next page, which is projected right now, it talks about market capture. Could you talk a little bit about what you mean by market capture?
Yeah, so as Dr. Connolly mentioned earlier, the demographics in the county, there's a slide in there. They continue to drop until, there's some fluctuations, but right around until first grade kindergarten right now. So hopefully we can keep the elementary school students in the county where they come and graduate eventually in about 10 years when our demographics start to right size again. But during that time of contracture, the college needs to make up the differential of those students coming to the college that wouldn't be coming to the college with other students from other areas. So for instance, we have an optics technology program with Door Labs, one of 4 in the nation. So we should have the ability to recruit out of New York and Midwest and Pennsylvania. There's no reason they shouldn't be coming here, learning optics technology and then going right to work in the industry right away. Right now, that's not possible. 2 different reasons, right? Rent prices for some of the 18-year-old student trying to get an education right now, not going to happen. And then just the availability of it. So having the residence halls allows us to cast a wider net to capture more students in for those unique programmings. We have a lot of students this morning drove up from Seaside Heights, New Jersey, 2 hours, a student veteran actually using his GI benefits because of the welding program. Because we offer a cost-effective welding program compared to a UTI or Lincoln Tech where that student, good luck paying $40,000 or $50,000 a year. So those are the types of opportunities we're talking about there.
So optics technology is one of those examples. One of my favorites is electrical line worker. Electrical line worker, again, it's sort of a regional draw. And, this is something that we've wrestled with a great deal in Maine. Maine's got a terrible demographic problem. People are leaving and coming to cold places like Sussex County. But the reality of the demographic shift of things that we sort of need to keep track of is that in Sussex County, we value both the rurality of this, but we also want economic vitality. We all complain about taxes, and we're not going to be able to tackle that one unless we do better the economic development side of this. And you need people to do it. You need a workforce to do it. Alex Cable is desperate to have a workforce that he can rely on, trained and so forth. That's why the optics technology program is so important. If folks come into the county from the outside, and they get trained in here, and they end up at Thor Labs or at Sussex Rural, they stay here, they have kids here, they make a home here, and then they participate in that entire process. And so that's an important piece of what we believe is important economic development. On the next page, it talks about where we are with respect to our budget and so forth, and why this is so vitally important. Sussex County Community College is vulnerable. We're vulnerable in part because of our size. We're also vulnerable to all of the forces that are happening in higher education right now. And we're vulnerable for enrollment because it's tied to our budget, and we need to be thinking about what that looks like. The number one conversation happening right now in the Northeast higher education sector is mergers and closures. Colleges are closing. I remember when I started and I wanted to talk with the county commissioners in 2016 and 17 about this particular phenomenon because our college was shrinking pretty substantially at that time, and talk about the threat that it means and so forth. And so I was looking for examples where this would happen. And I found them more difficult to find. It is not difficult to find these anymore. We've had around 28 mergers or closures that have occurred right now, reported by Inside Higher Education, just this year. And that's more than last year, and it's more than the year before. This is a phenomenon. It's real. It's accelerating. We cannot pretend that it's not going to happen to us. Further pages in, I won't flip you to those. But examples, of course, you folks presumably have heard of what's happened at New Jersey City University. These folks are continue to be so close to closure that Senator Cryan is considering what we want to do with that institution, whether it literally needs to merge with Hudson County Community College. What do we do to save this institution? Just up the road, SUNY Sullivan. SUNY Sullivan has got really serious problems. Same demographic that we face, same financial stresses. Their budget is about $16 million, ours is around $21 million, approximately the same size. They're in trouble. They're in trouble. And you need every bit of edge that you can. When I did a site visit for SUNY Clinton, they have to move to Plattsburgh. They're losing the campus. They're saying it's not a merger, it's a merger. Make a mistake, and make no mistake as well. When you have a merger like this, it's a takeover, right? So what happens when you lose that? A community loses its community college. Why did it happen? It happened in part, in good measure, because they mismanaged the residence halls that they had, and they didn't take care of them. They failed to. Once that happened, they were tanking, right? And why did that happen? Mismanagement of various kinds? I don't exactly know, but I do know the result of not having residence halls in a rural community like that. And that community loves their campus. They fought hard to keep it, and they ended up having to have that happen. So these are realities. So the good news is that we are ahead of the game. We run a balanced budget. We have been running a balanced budget for quite some time. We now have the ability to be able to work with the reserves that we have. There is statutory requirements now as a result of the New Jersey City University Challenge. If we were to flip to, I'm not sure that I have the right place. I'll wait on that. Let's go to due diligence, if we may. So what have we done? So if we believe that residence halls are a great asset in strengthening the campus life, improving retention, is an attractive program in and of itself to draw students towards us. What do we need to do to make sure that we are doing this right? We have had 3 different feasibility studies conducted on this. NW Financial has done one. PFIC has done their analysis of this situation, as has Brailsford and Dundee. And all of those indicate, and Corey, you can testify to this is about the shortage of housing, and that's a real problem. When we want to bring students for unique programs from the outside, it's a tough market out there for them, right? It's
impossible.
Okay, it's impossible. It's not tough, it's impossible. So we have to be able to overcome that particular issue. And Brailsford and Dunleavy has said, okay, yep, that observation is real, it's accurate, it's too expensive, it's all those things. Being able to provide students with access to housing that is affordable at a price point that helps them is critical. And frankly, it helps parents too. Well, prove to us that it'd work. You need a proof of concept. And so we've done a proof of concept. We've been doing centenary for 3 or 4 years.
3 years.
Okay, 3 years. We have the brochure, the marketing brochure included in that. I know, Commissioner Carney, you mentioned something about this some time ago when we met, that you're pleased that we've got this partnership with Centenary. Centenary is a terrific university. This is mutually beneficial. It's a symbiotic relationship. I will tell you that right now, the way that it looks, there's adequate demand. We would be filling the residence halls on campus, and we would still be having the partnership with Centenary because the demand is that much. Sounds odd, doesn't sound believable. We've been living it for 3 years now. We know that it's real. So this is of benefit to Centenary and Warren County, our partners, and to Sussex County, and Sussex County parents, Sussex County students, and frankly, to the business model of the college, which allows us to sort of stay in business. The challenge is, I don't have to tell you this because Executive Ron Tappan is living with this, okay? The expenses of running the show, the expenses of running the operation, the big 3, health insurance, okay? It's always, it just comes in and it never stops. Contract negotiations and the need to meet our requirements for contracts with those folks who do the work around here, okay? And then 3rd, software license. Right? Software licensing is just a killer. And it's an onslaught that never stops. We need to be able to stay ahead of that stuff, and so our business model needs to be able to make sense. We have a profit loss, thank you, Christina, for getting us that. This profit loss model in front of you is actually, it's the third. I didn't give you all three, but again, PFIC did this business model. I think I write it down. Westview and Dykstra did this, and then we worked this up on our own merits on the basis of our experience and recorded the research that you did with other institutions, right? So Broome
Community College, Northampton Community College, as well as Rhineland and Satin.
So all of those contribute. So how much is it going to cost? What's it going to look like? What do we need to do? What do we need to be aware of? Among those things is ADA compliance. We need to be thinking about ADA compliance and all that. I just want you folks to know the due diligence that we've done on this particular project is extensive. And you folks will then, therefore, given all that we've done, you'll be a little bit surprised. And you're telling us you haven't decided yet? Yes, you haven't decided yet. We don't know how we are going to proceed forward with this, and that's just the reality. However, you'll see that this was discussed at the September 12th, 2023 retreat of the Board of Trustees. It was a very serious matter. We had all the executive present there. Dr. Homer was there, and Mr. Gaddy was there at the present time to talk through all of this and how it could be done. When we initially started this journey, the model that we were exploring was that we would have an external entity create this, set it up, build it, run it, and they'd be borrowing the money. Westview and Dykstra, same thing. We were very close, saying this looks like this could work. And they did the same thing and said, well, the college, you guys are going to have to backstop it. We'll do it, but you're going to have to backstop it financially. Oh my God, that sounds like the devil of all projects that we encountered, solar project, right? No. We told them on flat out, dead on arrival. We told them in advance and they still moved that. Okay, well, we're not going in that direction. So we believe that the best option here is for us to run it ourselves and to build it ourselves. That's where we are at the present time. I don't think that's going to change. I feel like that's probably a decision made, if we can afford it. The Board of Trustees, 2 weeks later, September 26, 2023, the board committed to, let's see if there is not a less expensive way of getting this done. And the less expensive way was worked through with HQW. We had some preliminary drawings done on that. But we need an estimate. We need a real estimate. And so price per square foot is one way, but we really don't know what we're looking at, what we're going to do, depending upon the cost. And that's very much up to the Board of Trustees. Board of Trustees will say, dollar for dollar, gain for stability, gain for what we need to do to move and advance the institution, and frankly, the institution's continued viability. Yes or no? And we just don't know. So we really can't give that to you. But I think at this point, Chris, could you talk a little bit about your preliminary design and maybe update folks on where you folks are?
Sure. The first question that I heard from the board was, where is it going? So there's a building on campus, Building E. It's actually almost shaped like the Building E, a little opposite. Up on the hill. So down the main campus here, Building A, Building B, C, Building R where the optics building is Building L. Up on the hill is Building E, a bit more secluded. The building is 3 stories, give or take. It has a lower level with a bunch of excavated space, a main level, then a partial upper level as well. It's unique. We chose that building because it was unique for a couple of reasons. One, it's kind of secluded at the top of the campus. 2, it's adjacent to a lot of parking at the top of campus. 3, the existing classrooms within the space are longer in shape and not quite set up for the 23, 24, 25 student capacity that we're used to on campus. You can fit about 10 students in there. So we looked at this building, how could we, and also there's a fitness center there as well. So we're looking at amenities type spaces, and it's shaped like an E, so you can add a courtyard. So those few items where it's a good building that has good bones, has some mechanical systems like the boiler system, and has some amenities already, and the location is great. How could we fit out this space? So the first step that when the college approached me was, okay, we want a proof of concept. So can you develop a schematic plan? And that's what you see here on these 3 slides. So we, from our experience, we've done campus projects at Blair Academy. We've also done other campus projects at Warren Academy. We've probably done dorms there, but we have done dorms at Blair Academy. And so we have a building block set up on how we want to lay this out. So, in collaboration with the college, we've talked about 1-bedroom suites, 2-bedroom suites, 3-bedroom suites. What other spaces do we need to have, like kitchenettes, amenities, laundry spaces, bathroom spaces, and then, of course, RAs for supervision. So the first floor, this is the lowest level. We're showing 19 2-bed studios in there, so 38 units, or 38 beds. Bathrooms, kitchenette space, and some storage space. On the next level, we're showing, so in green you're seeing 3-bed studios, in blue you're seeing 2-bed studios, and then there's a couple RA spaces as well. And then on the 3rd level, there's some additional 2-bed suites. So in total, we have 112 beds that we could fit within this building, within the existing footprint. So we said, okay, proof of concept that, just like you had on your screen, you had 115 beds on that one slide. We could get approximately the amount of beds into this area. Okay, so the next step is, what we're in the process of doing is now developing a concept or design development estimate. And to do that, we are working on developing the mechanical systems for it, defining all the finishes for the spaces, the costs of replacing windows, everything that's involved. So we're in the process of getting those drawings to a point where now we could, 1, either go out to my estimator, or 2, go out to a local contractor and say, hey, give us now a design development estimate so that we could use that to fulfill our pro forma. Now, that's about 3 to 4 weeks away at this point. So we're anticipating about 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks to have the documents to a point where we could provide the estimate on that.
I just got a quick question, Dr. Connolly, and I don't know if you said it, Chris, I'm sorry if you did. What is this building being used for right now? Building E?
It is the gymnasium, which, is a project in and of itself. It's a YMCA and, gymnasium, and we really could do better with that. The fitness center is there. Graphic design is no longer there, right? Okay, so we don't have, so if we would go to the previous slide, Christine, thank you.
I see on the second floor concept, I see a basketball court. I'm assuming
That's the gym, that's right.
Gym.
So this will be our athletic center with the gymnasium. And it will also be the residence hall. None of the gymnasium stuff is going to be renovated at all. It's just going to stay as it is.
But where the dormitories are, what exactly are those classrooms being used for?
Right, and so what are those classrooms now? Right. Okay. So Corey can help me out a little bit, but on the first floor right now, there are no classes in there at all right now. And the reason is that they're dreadful. They've absolutely been dreadful. And when COVID hit, we said, okay, and the ventilation is essentially non-existent. So when we were in COVID, I was particularly concerned as a biologist about the attention to the spread of COVID and air exchanges per hour, ventilation in general. It was a nightmare. We could not have classes, we just could not do that. So with basically building E shut down, we determined where we were with respect to the campus, and we were able to make it work. It wasn't fun, we were able to make it work. And then when it came time to sort of repopulate after COVID, we did some. I think, did criminal justice go back?
And moved to A building.
Okay, moved to A building, but when did it?
22.
Okay, so no. Basically, those classes, the programs that were, criminal justice was located there. The business program was located there with the business center. The graphic design was located there. And education. Early childhood education is located there. And so that was it. Now, during that time also, we did get exercise science, but the classes were held there as well. Okay. So exercise science when we made the shift to exercise science, so we would eliminate the chargebacks with CCM. We then had that space located there, and we did renovate the exercise science lab. That was a big renovation. It was very, very important for us to do. But in 2022, it was too small. 100 exercise science students?
Yeah.
80 to 100 exercise science students. The program was way too big for that space. We knew that it was going to be successful. We had no idea that it was going to be that successful. So we had to move that, and that is occupying one portion of the maker space, is now the exercise science laboratory and classroom. So right now, there's nothing going on there.
One piece that we did just move there to buy us time is the students in the Adult Transition Center. So
yes.
We're renovating the old chapel up the hill that Chris could speak about in a little bit. But we were renting this space off campus in downtown Newton for our students with intellectual disabilities so that they could attend college. And so we were renting a space. With the space freeing up in E, we actually moved them to the space temporarily while the chapel finishes up the hill where they can move to their permanent home. So they're taking up quite a few classrooms now with their things. And then the other piece are athletics. Athletics are taking up one wing as well too right now. But we have plans we'll be able to disperse them throughout campus and other places, the athletics.
It was a good idea. We need to integrate athletics with the college in general, and E being up on the top of the hill, you wouldn't think that it matters. It turns out that it matters, that geography matters, and they feel separated and so forth. So there's going to be benefit from that as well.
Well, I have a ton of questions, but I'm going to not ask all the questions. I'm just going to stick with the hard ones. I always told you that I like that you brought sports to Sussex. I think that's very important. I think it works, especially wrestling in our area is huge. My concern, or one of my concerns, is you put dormitories in, you bring people from different counties, and the guy who was even a state champion wrestler that maybe didn't get good grades decides, hey, I'm going to stay for 2 years, pick my grades up, I'm going to go to a Big Ten school because I can do it physically. You bring somebody in from another county, you knock them off, that's a problem. Because to me, and I think everybody will agree, Sussex has to come first.
Yeah.
Number one priority has got to be Sussex.
Yeah.
It's called Sussex County Community College, and I think we can all agree on that.
Yes.
So having these dormitories, I'm just a realist. I get some of your points. I understand that you need to bring people in and get revenue. I get all that. I don't see, like my son goes there right now. My son just left there. He's going to ASU. I like it, right? Backyard, save some money, take your general studies. If my son thinks that he was going to stay at SEC to get a college, that was not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I don't see that happening. What I do see happening is other counties coming here and knocking off our kids, whether it be sports or whatnot. And that's what I'm a little nervous about. I can go on and on and on. But that to me is kind of defeating the purpose of having these sports programs. And I think our sports programs are good. I think that was a great idea that you brought in. I'll give you kudos for that. I just think now we're going to go in the opposite way. You know what I'm saying?
Could you sort of respond to that a little bit?
Yeah, so we were going the opposite way, Chris, to your point when we had our soccer team. We were called in 2017 the international soccer team, where a student from Vernon or Newton couldn't get on our team, and that was a problem. So we squashed that when it came to soccer rosters, where Sussex always comes first. And just to point out too, the dorms essentially aren't necessarily...
Chris, or Corey, hold on.
Yeah. Good.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. So, and just to note too, is that the dorms aren't necessarily super recruiting super athletes, right? The dorms are a first come, first serve. So the centenary piece, while it did start as an athletic driven piece to house football, basketball, all these sports, so these coaches were recruiting all over the place, while, our local students have room on the football roster that sits around, 125, so they're always on there as Sussex students. But the dorms at Centenary aren't just housing out of state or out of county students, they're housing our county students as well too right now. We have a number of homeless students, couch surfing students. We have a few student veterans. We have students from, right in Morristown. They're just bad family situations. So, I totally agree with you, and Sussex always has to come first. We've made it a point in our athletic department where that is the case. So we're constantly monitoring that as well with our coaches, because it is easy for our coaches to see, I'm going to win the NJCAA national title every year because of this quarterback out of Newman. No, that's not the case. So we squash that. We try to, where no sport reigns above another, and our local students are always given an opportunity.
And sometimes that causes distress in some of our coaches. And I say, this is a character development program. This is not about winning the championships. If you do this, great. You bring distinction to the college. But athletics is about persistence, it's about character development, it's about teamwork, it's about all of that stuff. And we care about the Sussex County students more than the championships and all the rest of that kind of thing. And that's how it happens. That's how it happens. And we're more on top of it than we used to be. And a piece of it is about management, and management philosophy changes, and it's changed. I'm not sure when we made that particular shift.
1920th?
So I'll just keep my winning is everything to myself. The Board of Trustees, since September 12th to 23, you've got some changes, and you've got some changes probably coming again shortly here. They are on board with this too, or you have not told them any of this stuff? Where are they at? Where do they sit?
Well, all of the current board members,
Yeah.
this is where they are, and they said, we've got past members and new members. Everyone is really excited about it and open to the possibility if we can afford to do it.
Yeah, and I could agree with that, because if you can't afford it or can't be sustainable, it's no good.
Yes.
I guess I'm just going to hit you with one more question, because it's kind of maybe something that I've been working on for like 4 years now. We have a jail up on top of the hill. That seems like a good dormitory to me. It has a lot of the attributes of a dormitory. I personally would like you guys to entertain that, Chris, more so. It's a good bone building. The guts are not so good, hence why we are not looking to do anything with it at this time, and we're looking to sell it. Going back to your point, if you build it, they will come. So if you build a dormitory and you're going to use this building E to house that, well, when you need more classrooms, you're going to need another building.
When we need more classrooms? Well,
If you do, if you do.
Yes.
So my point is, maybe my idea is not so bad. Just throwing it out there, right? So the other thing that comes with that is the sewer system and water.
Agreed.
So
Big deal.
It is a big deal.
Huge.
So
Absolutely.
I would appreciate if you could entertain that.
Explain to me again sort of your thinking. If this does work out, that's still something you want us to be thinking about? Or
No,
if this doesn't work out?
My thought, this is what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
and obviously a little biased, and I can tell you I'm not, because it's our building that we do not want anymore.
Understood.
So read through the lines. It is a good building, though. It is a good building. You got ample parking. You're close to Newton. So if you want to talk about a dormitory experience, a college experience, I think it'd be a lot better here than walking around your campus up there at nighttime, which now you're going to have to get security. At least you have security here with Newton. Sheriff's during the day, Newton, at nighttime and whatnot. You could walk the town. You go to wherever you need to go. To me, that would be a better experience. Again, my bias.
You make a good sales pitch.
I've been thinking about it for a while. So I'm just asking, for you guys to entertain that idea. And then again, you open up your classrooms. If you have that many residents and they come here, and all of a sudden you're bringing them in and bringing that revenue in and saving the taxpayer money, because that's what we all want. That's what we're here for. You got classrooms.
Okay.
Probably a good deal.
I will give you a very good deal.
In fact, that's one of the most beautiful buildings that HQW designed back in the 1970s.
Listen, that's a good start.
How old were you?
And it's got a new kitchen.
You got kitchens, you got dormitories already, it's set up nice. You should, if you want, all kidding aside, we can set you up with that tour.
Okay.
And I'm not kidding.
We'll take it. Now, to be earnest about all of that line of thinking, this whole process really started in some kind of earnest way with what we're going to do with McGuire and our partnership with the town of Newton and putting apartment buildings and residence halls there. And that's come and gone and come and gone and come and gone, and oh, good heavens, it's been really quite a journey. And I'm done, can't do that. I would just ask that you folks be ready to deal. So,
I think we are ready to deal. We've been working on this project for as long as I've been here, which is almost 4 years now. So I think, again, you entertaining it, I think would be
okay, all right. Well, we will give that due consideration. We've got a couple of members of the Board of Trustees here, I believe, and they've heard that and witnessed it. So, it's great.
So I'm going to stop there and give anybody else, the commissioners, an opportunity to.
So I got a couple of questions. One of mine originally was the same as his about pushing our students out. But in your sales pitch for this, the effective on-campus housing, you're bringing up retention rate and graduation rate and percentages. Of those percentages you have listed, what amount of those students are from the county, or what would be from out of county?
You mean in that table of data? That's research that was conducted. So basically, in any community college or university, statistically, that is how it improved. Doesn't matter if they're from Sussex County or anything else. It's
So we don't have a breakdown, though, how it would affect the county residents, though?
No, other than that, we can expect the same sort of retention support for anyone who goes to the residence halls. And there are lots of reasons for that, Commissioner Hayden, and it has a lot to do with the totality of services that are there available to them, particularly in student support. We call student support services. They'll be able to avail themselves of those services more so than the come and go and come and go. I'm on campus, I'm off campus. Their home is the campus. They then take advantage of those services. Goes for students in county, out of county, it doesn't matter.
On that point too, I would just add the transportation makes it a lot easier for students. When I'm scheduling students or working with students,
With Centenary.
well, with any student, in county or not, let's just call it that. Coming from Vernon, for instance, is a 45-minute trip. If you're going to juggle a 5-class load every semester for 2 years, you're going to finish. But 5 classes on campus coming from Vernon, and most of our students work more than 30 hours a week. It's impossible, I'm sorry. So the student has to take 2 online classes at least. And online learning is not my favorite. I know it's not a number of students' favorite, but the fact of the matter is life is pushing them to do that. If they were able to take advantage of a dormitory opportunity where you walk down the hill to class, there's no excuse anymore. So
there's no way to do electrical line work or online. There's no way to do welding online, optics technology, and these are important programs for us that drive the economy and will help. We need young Sussex County students taking on these trades. We got to have it.
Again, it's a county college, and I want to make sure that the Sussex County residents, people that are going to go there, they get the full benefit of all this. That's why I'd like a breakdown would be a better option for us to see how this actually impacts the residents.
Okay, Commissioner Hay, we can talk more about specifically what you're looking for, because I think if we can get that data, because we haven't thought about it in those terms, it'd be it's useful for everybody. I agree.
Very useful.
Good?
Good.
Commissioner Kazook, anything? You good? Commissioner Space?
I have a few questions. One of them is the dining hall. I know as a parent, I had 2 daughters that both got their bachelor's degree start to finish out of state, and one of the important things was the dining hall. It needed to be state of the art. I haven't been in your dining hall in years, but is it up to date, what they would expect if they went to live in a dorm?
It's part of the project, part of the cost. It has to be.
Okay, because I heard it was under construction and
no.
just left.
So under construction because there was a pipe that burst in the floor. It was a faulty valve or something, and so we ended up with a problem there. That floor has been replaced now. We walked on it today. It looks sharp. It's great. Insurance paid for it.
Okay.
And that's useful. But we now have a state-of-the-art floor. It changes everything. When we walk in, that's useful. But that's not the renovation that's going to be required. The cost of the residence halls has to include what we're going to do with the cafeteria. So the total thing has to include that. That's a part of the bill of getting this project done. What about the business model, the profit and loss model? In the profit and loss model that you folks have in front of you, basically the cafeteria, the meal plan is set aside as a pass-through. Whatever that meal plan is going to cost is what we have to charge, and that will be that. So in terms of the business plan, it's not going to be, hey, let's take a look at this and say, how are you going to feed these students? That's already considered, and the way that we consider it is as a pass-through. So, but you're right. I mean, student satisfaction, the food that's served is going to be an element of student satisfaction.
Especially if they're getting it in their like package deal, like if you were doing that with all the other colleges.
That's right. That's right. And it's Centenary has been a good partner, but we don't have control over certain things. We can be more responsive to our students when we've got control over it. And this is one of those things. And we really need to be able to control the experience that they have, because this is very much about retention. And they hate the food. This is not going to be our retention deals.
And then another question, like just looking at these plans, you know, it would be like similar to like if you were looking online, and I instantly gravitate as a woman to the bathrooms, and they're unisex and showers too.
Those are 10% drawings, and there's conversations we have to have about that. And Chris, I don't know where we are with respect to that, but those are details. To give you some confidence, we're thinking about that, okay? What are we gonna do? And it's already been a topic of conversation multiple times with individual members of the board, but we don't, cost per square foot to do a project like this, we don't even know what we're looking at. And so, and the project may be doomed because can't do it, it's too expensive to do.
Yeah, because I just know
So the symbol
my girls
on
would have
there,
looked at it and like moved on.
unisex, it was just meant as a quick symbol for bathrooms. In the design development drawings, it's individual male, female bathrooms with toilet stalls, shower stalls, sinks. So, and then
More of like
depending on the mix that-
old-fashioned dorms versus like what the young ones are expecting now.
Like
It's-
dorms that
and
are
experiencing and
suites
whether we-
with the individual bathrooms.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not the direction.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about there. You know, it's what we in Sussex County want to do and what students expect.
Right.
You know?
And have you looked into, I know you have the students housed at Centenary right now, but have you spoken with Centenary on how many Warren County residents actually live in Centenary?
No.
Is that something I would like to know to see, because that'll give me an idea of how many Sussex County residents, because Warren County you have to have a car, just like Sussex County.
Yes.
So I'm imagining that Warren County probably doesn't have a lot of their residents living in Centenary.
I would say that Centenary is a different experience altogether, and Centenary has its own challenges. And so I think that not that it's not it's not that we shouldn't look into it. I think it's warranted. It's like Commissioner Hayden's question. Okay, there's something to think about from a different perspective. But Centenary is definitely a different experience.
Right.
Yeah, well, definitely will, but the price tag coming in at $25,000 to $30,000 a year plus the $10,000 a year room and board, a lot of our local students, are looking at the community colleges more, luckily, than paying that price tag right away.
And where is the nearest county college out of state that has dorms?
Northampton Community College, right across the river, that we've toured and spoken to their team. We toured that building expecting to see these, fantastic, dormitories. No, that's not the case. Northampton is the only community college in Pennsylvania. They have a dorm right about 300. They do. They're at 80% occupancy right now. A lot of them are local residents that they've picked up due to they don't have the programs that will drive students from out of the area. I'm not going to psychology. I'm going to be a psychologist. I'm going to go to Northampton Community College and pay room and board if I could do that locally. So they don't have those programs that are unique, essentially, like we do. So we're better positioned for that.
Corey, could you talk a little bit about the phenomenon which I sense and hear, which, not to rebut the reality of what Commissioner Carney just said, but that parents in Sussex County, they're not going to send their kids to the college. But kids want it. A lot of county kids who want to be able to have a college experience and independence and come home on the weekend. and do their laundry and all the rest of that. That is a real thing that students want. And could you just talk a little bit about that?
I'll just note, it's really an eye-opener working at an open access community college. My background's all private 4-year where I went to. And so being at an open access community college, like I said, we're dealing with everything every day. Students that haven't had lived under a single roof, week after week after week, and they're couch surfing, and they're living with their buddies with holes in the walls. It's bad, some of these situations. So they're forced there. But you also get the students, so the springtime is my favorite time for some school districts. Because the students that go away to 4-year colleges in California and Idaho, and they post it on social media, and hey, I'm going here, I'm so excited. Guess where they are right now? Is they went away, they had a bad experience, they moved out of state, they weren't ready. Most of our students aren't. So this could actually provide a good middle ground for those students where you go away, you come back, you don't have to, because they're pretty defeated after that, right? You go away, you come back, and I'm living with mom and dad again. So this could be a good middle ground for those students coming in the spring semester after they don't. And so it's a good mix of parents, students and parents that do ask for dormitory information from Centenary University every year. So the price point is a big one for Centenary, which we're hoping to drive the price point lower if we have on-campus housing that we can control. Because the price point's sitting about $10,000 a year plus a meal plan, which is pretty substantial, right? So
That'd be more than college tuition?
what's that?
Would that be more than college tuition?
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
For
A
our
lot more,
college, absolutely.
right?
So that's
Almost double, no?
So that's one of the things, though, too, and Dr. C may have mentioned it, so sorry. But if you go to a Centenary University, you're $25,000 to $30,000 plus room and board. Here, you're a modest $6,800 a year plus the room and board cost, whatever that is, which is half, maybe 33% of what you would pay for a normal college, public 4-year or private 4-year. So just because of where our tuition and fees are, it does make it more affordable for a number of students.
Anything else, Deputy Director?
Oh, I have a few things, but I'll just keep them. I don't want to be the negative Nelly.
Commissioner Henderson?
I guess you're going to make me the negative Nelly? I'd just like to say, and maybe going along with Commissioner Hayden there, how many % of the kids coming to the college now are currently from Sussex County?
86% right now.
86%. And then I guess I'm going to go along with Commissioner Carney on that. As a dad to put 2 students through your college with their associate's degree and living 10 minutes from the college, I don't care what they wanted. If I was footing the bill, they were coming back home to go to bed. And they maintained their own job the entire time while they went to school, which was a huge help. And both kids went through the criminal justice program there in Building E. I'm very familiar with Building E, been in it several times myself. A few years ago, that building was full. And now I hear you say it's completely empty with no students. It makes me wonder, okay, who are we going to put in a dorm if we can't even fill the classrooms?
So the classrooms aren't full. So there was an extension built on the back of A at this time period too, 13,000 square foot extension with larger classrooms off of the back of the PAC building. And so a number of classes were relocated from E down to that A. And due to the density, you're going from 10 students per section up to 30 potentially in some. I teach a class of 55 or 60 in my lectures for psychology, which is pretty typical for community colleges when you have a lecture-based class. So our classes are all maintaining. It's not like we don't have room for these. We're also looking and Chris could mention this soon, but at the PSTA basement, to the PSTA to move our fire science theory classes as well as our criminal justice due to the location of the sheriff's office and the law enforcement and being on the PSTA campus probably might make good sense. So we're exploring all those options if it comes to a point where we don't have room.
And I guess my one final question coming from law enforcement myself is security obviously is huge. I'm not saying all kids are party animals and I don't want anybody to think that. But I mean, the first time at home, they might very well be the first time out at home. Have you thought about where you go and the expense of law enforcement? I mean, that's huge for something like that.
It's in the profit loss thing. It's sitting right there. We're going to have to have somebody.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll just note to Commissioner Henderson, is that the 86% of Sussex County residents, probably another 7% are only from Pike County, Pennsylvania, due to the county being essentially an educational desert. So we have about 200, 210 students from Pike County, Pennsylvania. So sometimes folks, when they hear that they're not from Sussex County, their minds go to all over the world. No, they're typically right across the river, or Warwick, New York, West Town, right on that Orange County border as well, too. So.
All right, well, we appreciate you all coming in.
Thank you so much for the invite.
The two things I asked, one is entertain the idea for the jail. I think
Yeah, we will.
I think it would be a good investment myself, and then just keep us abreast of what's going on, because
Okay.
we'd like to know. We don't want to hear rumors like coming from the horse's mouth, as you say, would be better than anything else, because the things we hear
Well,
are not always good.
anytime you folks want to meet directly, coffee, tea, crumpets, whatever it might be, I'm happy to do it. Happy to talk straight. And
Well, I think the closer that Chris gets to having a better plan,
Oh, yeah.
a conceptual plan, whether it be a month, 2 months, whatever, we can just meet up with Christina, call Christina, with Corey or John, and say, come back in, maybe a shorter presentation, and that's on us that we took so long. You don't have to worry about that. And then go from there. That's all we ask.
All right.
So again,
All
we
right.
appreciate
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Public hearing, there is none. Number 8 is a public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make a comment of 3 minutes or less regarding an agenda item. Please line up at the microphone and state your name, municipality, and agenda topic for the record. Motion to open the floor for public comment. Commissioner Hayden, can I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner DeGroot, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, carries. Anyone? All right. Motion to close the floor for public comment.
So moved.
Commissioner
Second.
Hayden, Commissioner Space seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carries. All right. Number 9, commissioners' comments, and we're going to start with our newest commissioner.
And even remember the microphone. First of all, I'd like to say thank you. It's an honor to sit here next to you guys as fellow colleagues. I look forward to the next 3 years. I can tell you since January 1st, anybody that knows me don't know grass does not grow underneath my feet. I'm a guy that hits the ground and takes off, not walking at a dead run. Since being sworn in on January 1st at noontime, I've met with Employee Services to get all the necessary paperwork completed. I did a tour of the Fire Academy with Commissioner Space. I have to say I was very impressed with the operation there and John Dixon and his staff. I've attended several reorganization meetings in Franklin, Hardiston, Hamburg, Ogdensburg, and Lafayette. Along with Commissioner DeGroot, in the last couple of days, we have met with employees of the Sussex and Vernon DPW. Our second visit was to the Andover garage, where we spoke to Andover and Stillwater employees. And Friday, we have a meeting set up with the Frankfurt garage, and later in the day, the Lafayette garage. Looking to do a tour of the Hopatcon garage on the 14th of January. I sat in as a visitor bystander for the planning board. Yesterday, I spent from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. here for commissioner orientation. I was assured there was going to be a half-hour break. I can assure you, there wasn't even a bathroom break. It was very informative, met a lot of department heads here, and I can say very, very informative. If there was one common thread of any supervisor that walked in here and spoke to me, I think they'd like to see all of us come up and meet with them. I don't think anybody walked out of here and said, please come up to our department and see actually what we do. So I will join any of you that would like to go and meet them, see what their job does. And I think an employee does a lot more for an employer. They feel that they're recognized. You acknowledge the fact that they're the employees here and you appreciate them. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Hayden.
I have no comments at this time.
All right, Commissioner DeGroot.
Starting off the new year, as mentioned, Commissioner Henderson and I committed to touring the county garages and meeting with our dedicated county workers. It's been a very insightful and rewarding experience visiting the Wantage and Andover garages and meeting the hardworking crews from Wantage, Vernon, Andover, and Stillwater. Later this week, as mentioned, we'll continue the visits to the Frankfurt Garage and Lafayette Garage, concluding our tour at the Hopakon Garage next week. January's reorganization season for municipalities, and I was pleased to attend Hopakon's reorganization meeting on Monday to welcome their new councilmen. Congratulations, Steve Kusevich and Joe Falcone. Additionally, last night I had the privilege of attending Sparta's reorganization meeting, where the newest members of their council, Mark Scott and Margie Murphy, were sworn in. A special congratulations to Sparta Councilwoman Margie Murphy for being named Deputy Mayor of Sparta, which is very exciting. Looking forward to seeing the new council members of both Hopakon and Sparta, as well as the rest of the municipalities in their work throughout 2025 and beyond. That's all. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Deputy Director, Space.
Well, I've been a little out of touch this last week, but I did get to attend Montague Township's reorganization, where James Ladon was sworn in and Barbara Holstein, and Mayor George Zaitone was the mayor again. And then I attended Wantage Townships, where Justin Dudzinski was sworn in and Ron Bassani became the mayor, and my son was sworn in as a fourth-generation Wantage Township Fire Chief, so that was pretty exciting. And along with Commissioner Henderson, we did have the excellent tour of the Sussex County Community College Public Safety Training Academy with Director John Dixon. And the facility is, it's very cool. It was pretty up-to-date. It provides up-to-date training right here in Sussex County, so we don't have to send our first responders out of Sussex to be trained. I look forward to seeing more initiatives with local law enforcement and the fire training right here in Sussex, and my husband and son both had the privilege of being trained through that academy. And on our agenda tonight, we have, we're going out for rebid on, we have a resolution for rebid on our website design. Our current provider could possibly facilitate the changes we need, and that would be wonderful if we could do that. And the other bids were all over our budget, so that's on the agenda tonight, so that's exciting. And Division of Community and Youth Services, opioid settlement funds allocated to Sussex County Municipal Alliance Committees. There's a resolution on the agenda this evening authorizing the Division of Community and Youth Services to allocate $93,560 from the opioid settlement funds for the established Municipal Alliance Committees in Sussex County to create prevention programs that address opioid use disorder and any co-occurring substance use disorder or mental health conditions. Municipal alliances are community-based volunteer committees in municipalities to address each community's unique substance abuse prevention needs and problems for all ages. The alliances are established by municipal ordinance and engage residents, local government and law enforcement officials, schools, nonprofit organizations, the faith community, parents, youth, and other allies in efforts to prevent alcoholism and drug abuse in their community. In Sussex County, there are 11 municipal alliances representing 22 of the 24 towns in the county. In New Jersey, there are nearly 400 alliances. To learn more about the Sussex County Municipal Alliances, please contact Lisa Lombardo, Sussex County Coordinator at 973-579-0200, extension 1370, or email municipalalliance@sussex.nj.us. Division of Senior Services, Move and Groove. The Division of Senior Services will be holding a Move and Groove exercise class at Liberty Towers, located at 32 Liberty Street in Newton. This 6-week class offers seniors the ability to participate in simple exercises with music. The class will be held once a week on Tuesdays from January 14th to February 18th, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Classes are free, but registration is required. Please call Senior Services at 973-579-0555 to register or obtain additional information. Division of Senior Services, Game Shop Social. The Division of Senior Services will host a Game Shop Social on Thursday, January 16th, 2025, from 2 to 3 p.m. p.m. in the community room at the Newton Town Center located at 225 Spring Street in Newton. Seniors will enjoy some camaraderie while playing a wide variety of games. This event is free, but registration is required. Please call Senior Services at 973-579-0555 to register or obtain additional information. A Senior Services Caregiver Support Group meeting will be held virtually by Zoom from 2 to 3 p.m. on Thursday, January 16th, 2025. This group helps to reduce the negative effects of stress and increases the physical and psychological wellness of the caregiver. It also provides information about programs and services available to the caregiver, information on how to access these services, and provides referrals as necessary. Please call the Division of Senior Services at 973-579-0555, extension 1288, to obtain additional information or to register to attend these meetings. Please note that this group previously met on the first Friday of each month, but the meetings have now moved to the third Thursday of each month. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Deputy Director. Department of Engineering and Planning. They've accomplished a number of significant achievements during the 2024 year. The department expanded the use of asset management system, which is now used by most of the department staff to manage work tasks and a variety of amenities. The system is actively used for assets such as stormwater inlets, cross drains, stormwater outfalls, traffic signs, traffic pavement markings, guide rail systems, Winter County route maintenance program, reserve farm inspections, and service requests. Moving into 25, the department will be expanding the use of this system to manage inspections and work orders for additional operational tasks. Additionally, efforts will be focused toward the initial development of permitting module to standardize and streamline various application processes managed within the department. The operation arm of the department, which includes the Division of Public Works, Office of Bridge and Traffic Safety, Transportation Operations, and Division of Planning, has been very busy. Among the host of other tasks, these divisions manage the Sussex County Highway Agency stormwater permit, administered a number of applications for open space acquisitions, solid waste plan amendments, wastewater management plan amendments, planning board applications, farmland preservation applications, and oversaw the administration and management of 217 road openings, access and occupancy permits. These divisions also manage a number of annual transportation programs, such as the pavement management program, the pavement marking program, the sign reflectivity program, the tree maintenance program, and the guide rail repair program. It's a lot of programs. The Division of Planning continued to focus efforts on the management and oversight development of 25 trail grant programs, an update of Sussex County Comprehensive Farmland Preservation Plan, and development of Sussex County Local Roadway Safety Plan. Department staff is managing in excess of $50 million of capital road and bridge projects. Capital work includes 7 projects which are completed construction and entering the project closeout phase, 16 projects anticipated to enter the construction phase over the upcoming year, and 17 major road and bridge projects currently in the scoping, right-of-way, and design phases. Looking forward to 2025 includes a number of major goals and objectives, such as the completion of updated comprehensive farmland preservation plan, completion of the local roadway safety plan, the second solicitation of Sussex County Trails Grant Program, development of Sussex County Open Space Stewardship Grant Program, construction of the $8 million 23.5 mile Sussex County Resurfacer Program, replacement of Sussex County Bridge X48 on Mudtown Road in Wantage, replacement of Sussex County Bridge X43 on Unionville Road in Wantage, repair and return to service County Bridge D18 on Fenwick Road in Frankfurt, replacement of Sussex County Bridge X20 on Berry Road in Wantage. Work on bridges D18 and X20 will be completed using the in-house construction crew. Expanding use of the in-house construction crew capabilities remains a goal and a priority for Sussex County, and we look forward to the future. Something we've been working on for a long time. On another note, I have not been to as many reorg meetings as you all have. I was away with my son, bringing him to college, but I was able to attend Frankfurt's reorg meeting to see Mayor Silverthorne take his 3rd year and get sworn in as mayor again, along with Ed Risden, who's been on that committee longer than I was there. So that's all I have for now. Number 10 is approval of consent agenda. There is none. Approval of minutes. There are none. Number 12, ordinance. There is none. Appointments and/or resignation. All right. I need a motion to adopt resolutions A through K. Commissioner Hayden? Second.
Oh, sorry.
Commissioner Henderson?
There you go.
Any discussion? Sorry. Roll call, please.
Director Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot?
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Deputy Director Space?
Yes.
All right, 15, awards of contract, change orders, bids. There is none. Financial is the bills list.
You skipped
go.
item 14, resolutions.
Resolutions. How do I skip it? Oh? No, it's not here. I don't have 14.
Oh, well, yeah.
No. Unless it was stapled on. Yeah.
But that's why you had A through K.
It's A through H.
Yeah, I thought you had an extra one.
Yeah. All right, 14, I'm sorry. Wait a second.
I just thought you had an extra resolution at 13. You're good. So this is through K, no, this is through H. Okay,
All right, so motion to adopt resolutions A through K.
Yep.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Space, Commissioner DeGroot seconds. Any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Director Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot?
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Deputy Director Space?
Yes.
Christine, you want to go back and fix that for
13 was
13?
So 13 was
A
the
through
motion
A.
to adopt resolutions
And I said
A through H.
H instead of A through K. Can we just amend that? Should we have another roll call on that?
There was nothing after H, so
No.
it's not like you came up short and went too long.
Yeah, I just skipped right over to 14. My apologies.
Yeah, for the record, motion to, number 13 was to adopt A through H.
Yeah. All right, 16, payment of bills list. This bills list is from December 25th, 2024. Motion to pay bills list A.
Second.
Commissioner Hayden, Commissioner DeGroot seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Director Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot?
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Abstain.
Deputy Director Space?
Yes.
Payment of bills list B from December 25th, 2024. Motion to pay bills list B.
So moved.
Commissioner DeGroot, Commissioner Hayden seconds. Any discussion? Roll call?
Director Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot?
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Abstain.
Deputy Director Space?
Abstain.
Payment of bills list C. This is from December 25th, 2024. Motion to pay bills list C.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Space, Commissioner Hayden seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Director Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot?
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Abstain.
Deputy Director Space?
Yes.
All right, and the last payment of bills list D from January 8th, 2025. Motion to pay bills list D.
So moved.
Commissioner Henderson,
Second.
Commissioner Space seconds. Any discussion? Roll call.
Director Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot?
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Deputy Director Space?
Yes.
All right, number 18, administrative report.
Real quick, thank you, everyone. Guys, everyone covered a lot of programs tonight, so I don't have a whole lot to add to that. We've been very busy. This one last thing I want to talk about is the budget that provides all these services. We're meeting on the 14th, Elka, Tony, and I, to start scrubbing. So that we're constantly looking at that, and contract negotiations will start back up next week as well. So those two things are in the backdrops of everything you guys talked about tonight to support those efforts. So thank you. That's about all I got.
Perfect. 19, county council report.
Andover subacute is sort of coming to a head. Hope to have a report for you next meeting after all these years. And the bank survey came back with some comments which we'll review in executive session.
Very good. 20, unfinished business. Does anybody have any unfinished? No? All right. 21 is new business. if you guys are good with it, we have the pins for our service awards that we've been talking about, or I've been talking about for, I guess, a year now, whatever it's been. If you guys are good with it, I would like to put something together for the 17th, January 17th at 3 p.m. here. It's right before the Martin Luther King Day, which everybody has off. Have them come in. If they can't make it, we'll have the department heads hand their pins, and then we're just waiting on their placards when and
Yes.
they're not open up till February,
Newton Trophy
correct?
does not open back up until February, so once they do, then we'll be able to get the placards finalized and engraved and put them up.
But at least we can give them their pins for their service here, acknowledge them, their hard work, and without them, we would not have the county we have. So, you guys good?
That's good.
Perfect, all right. 22, public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make general comments of 3 minutes or less on non-agenda topics. Please line up at the microphone and state your name and municipality for the record. Motion to open the floor for public comment.
So moved.
Commissioner Hayden, Commissioner DeGroot seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, carries. Anyone? No? All right, seeing none. Motion to close the floor for public comment and return to regular business.
So moved.
Commissioner Space, can I have a second? Commissioner Hayden, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carries. All right, reminders 23. Please check the county's website at www.sussex.nj.us for our meeting schedules. Number 24 is executive session, and I'm going to have Ms. Marks read this.
So resolution providing for an executive closed session not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12 et seq. Whereas the meeting matters about to be discussed may be excluded from the public portion of the meeting by resolution of the Board of County Commissioners as an exception to the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12B. And whereas it appears necessary for the Board of County Commissioners to discuss such matters in executive session. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex, in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12B and NJSA 10:4-13, that the Board at this time enter into an executive session from which the public shall be excluded, and be it further resolved that the general nature of the subjects to be discussed relate to the following items authorized by NJSA 10:4-12B as designated below. Item number 5, matters relating to the purchase, lease of acquisition of real property or the investment of public funds, 15 Trinity Street, Newton, New Jersey. And number 8, matters relating to the employment relationship, Sussex County Community College Board of Trustees. Be it further resolved that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners, or provided by law that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality, and be it further resolved that upon completion of the business for which the board has entered into the executive session, the board shall reconvene and resume its meeting open to the public, and be it further resolved that the board does not expect to take formal action after returning from executive session, except to adjourn the regular meeting.
Correct, yep.
Motion?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Motion to go into executive session. So moved. Commissioner Henderson, Commissioner Hayden seconds. Any discussion? Roll call?
Nope.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Carries. Thank you all for coming.
I need to...
Can I get a motion to adjourn from executive session and return to regular business?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Space, Commissioner Hayden seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, play aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Carries. Number 25 is adjournment. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Commissioner Hayden.
Second.
Commissioner DeGroot seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Carries.
Meeting is over.
Meeting is over. 8:01.